Hey, good afternoon, traders. All right, my final video of this week. I want to just wrap up and summarize what our markets are doing and what the crypto space is telling me. And I think some of you might be surprised as to um, how bullish I am in this video. All right. So let's start with our indexes, our stock market indexes, since that's kind of what we've been focusing on the last week or so. Um, Overall, kind of threw a surprise at us a little bit, maybe. Um, I don't know. After the FOMC meeting, the market usually jumps and then comes back down. Or if it falls, it'll go back up the next day. It kind of does the opposite. The market does the opposite of what it does the first 2 or 3 hours after the meeting. So if the Fed is, um, it kind of articulates verbiage that the market would digest negatively. At first, it might take it positively, and then the next day it'll go negative. If it digests content from the Fed that would be taking positively, sometimes you'll see the market go negative the first 2 or 3 hours, and then the next day, as that content, as that language is digested on what the Fed actually said, it will go up the next day. So it's not really all that surprising to see the market reaction today. And overall, we are still doing what I think we're doing, which is turning the corner. And the markets are going to start becoming more bearish from what I've seen on these charts. Now, that still could change because we're still in a bullish channel on all of these except for the Dow. But I do expect the SPY to come down and test our support on this channel that we have lived inside of since March. And likewise, the NASDAQ. I think the NASDAQ will begin to do the same thing. We're under the 50-day here, and I do believe we remain under our level of resistance, this red line here. I don't think the bulls have enough strength to carry us up over that. So I think we are going to come down, and we are going to test this bottom support in this channel. Again, we have lived inside of this since March of 2020. Now, the Dow, on the other hand, is under our channel, at least today. It keeps cutting back and forth there across that channel. Now, this head and shoulders pattern that I drew is only what I propose might happen. It doesn't seem like the bears have enough strength to get us above this red level of resistance, let alone our previous body high up here and back into the channel. So I do think that this pattern has a probability of playing out, a greater probability of playing out than maybe having the bulls sweep in and carry us back into the channel. But again, that remains to be seen. And overall, I would say it's becoming less important because I want to show you what I'm seeing on the crypto charts. First, let's visit Bitcoin dominance. I drew a target here. That's kind of something I expect us to hit our heads on a few more times. Maybe Bitcoin dominance grows stronger in January, February, and we break that level and go up. But for now, I think we'll stay under that for the next few weeks. And that remains a good sign for the altcoin space. Bitcoin. All right, let's get into what I'm seeing here. To do that, we have to zoom in to the 4 hour. So I'm going to draw some lines here, and I'm going to show you exactly what it is I'm seeing. Maybe some of you guys who are more experienced are already seeing what I'm seeing. All right, so we have what I call bullish divergence. that's when the RSI is trending upward, all right, slightly. You can see it though, right? While at the same time, the price action is trending down from the same point. All right, do you guys see that? Price action is trending down, but on the RSI, we are trending up. Though slightly, it is enough to indicate that we have some bullish divergence. That means our time living down in this territory down here is growing very short. We may have one more week, as I said already in previous videos, where we kind of bounce back and forth across using this green trend line as support. Potentially, the market movers try to shake us down. We come down to the blue. That's going to be rather difficult to do, but it could happen. Eventually, we are going to have to face battle with this downward sloping red trend line, which I drew on the daily. And I started that at our previous high in the beginning of November. All right. So that is something that we are going to, the bulls are going to have to do battle with soon. And from what I'm seeing, and according to this bullish divergence I'm seeing, it's a really good sign that the bulls are going to, very soon we're going to pop quickly. All right. Now, Bitcoin may not rise as quickly as the altcoins from what I'm seeing, but it will still go up. All right, Ethereum, this is our 4-hour, and I'm seeing the same thing here. Look at this price action. Really, you can see it here. If we go all the way back to that date, what is that? The beginning of December, and trace that. Oops, got to grab another trend line here. Trace that up. Look at that. That is powerful bullish divergence that we're seeing there. And this, my friends, is one of the best indicators I have ever found. This is why I use the RSI. And for me, I know some of you guys use the MACD. I find the RSI to be a cleaner, more pure form, but that's just me. I mean, I'm not criticizing the MACD. This is what I have found over the years works for me. And it provides me a very accurate perspective on price action. So I definitely want to pay attention to these bullish divergence signs and indicators that I'm seeing, because they already, remember, I'm not using them to provide proof that the bulls are coming. This is just confirmation from everything that I've studied, price time pattern. And I've been saying this for the last week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, that we are near about it, very near, and that we are going to enter an uber bull cycle soon, especially in the altcoin space. I want everybody to be a part of that. I want everybody to experience that. And so I know a lot of you are very nervous about what I'm saying and about entering the market. And that's understandable, especially if you're newer traders. You don't understand all this stuff. But I'm telling you, there is going to come a point, and because so many people have doubts that this is it, there's also going to be FOMO playing out, fear of missing out. All right. So people are going to see this pop in the altcoin space and Ethereum, and they're going to say, well, wait a second, I'm missing out on that. And they're going to try to get in on the action. All right. And that's going to only propel us further upwards and faster upwards than ever before. All right. Let's jump over to a few other altcoins that I have picked out that show us this bullish divergence. All right. Again, this is the 4-hour chart. And I always have to move this RSI up a bit before I can draw my trend line. Whoops, what just happened? Undo. All right. So I want to draw the trend line from here. and you can clearly see an upward trend on the RSI. But if I draw from the same place on our chart here on ADA, definitely bearish. All right. So this is what I'm paying attention to, this bullish divergence. This is indicating our time in this territory, this bearish territory, for especially for the altcoin space, but also Bitcoin. Uh, what I'm seeing on Bitcoin, though, is it's not going to grow as fast as we see on Ethereum and the altcoins. And our time is growing very close to the end. All right, so this is Cardano. Moving on to OXT, I have the same thing here. And I don't need to keep drawing these lines, but I will just for the sake of showing you all. All right, bearish up here. However, we come down to the 4-hour, and on this RSI chart, definitely bullish. All right, that's OXT. These are good signs. Jasmy is interesting. Now, here's the thing. I had put in a trade alert. Let me zoom out to the daily here so you can see this. All right. Zoom up. I had put in a trade alert on Saturday, so almost a week ago, that I was going to put in a buy limit at 0.0737, so 7.37 cents. All right. Now, this is what the chart was telling me we would come down to. But as I often do, I fail to believe my own analysis. And I just didn't have the patience to wait for us to come down there. So I bought in up here at 8.37 or 38 cents, all right, instead of waiting. I just didn't feel it was worthwhile to wait for us to come down there, because I know when this thing pops, it's going to be huge, and we will have ourselves a 4 to 5x on this particular crypto. All right. And so one of my subscribers here on TradingView, I don't know if he or she is a subscriber on Substack, but I don't imagine they were, because they just followed this queue and not what I did on Substack. But they had the guts to wait for us to come down to the 737 mark and sent me a comment, said, "Hey, I threw $20,000 at this at the 7.37 mark," and I'm like, "Yes!" And I am cheering for them, because that $20,000, I guarantee they're going to come back in less than 2 months. That $20,000 will be $100,000. All right, whatever you throw at this right now has 4 or 5x potential, and I mean, look at our RSI down here. Look how oversold we are. And it's the same thing. If I zoom back into the 4-hour, you can see the bullish divergence. All right, way over here started December 4th. And look at this uptrending pattern on the RSI. I mean, hugely oversold to right here. Definitely bullish on the RSI. But if I start the trend line from the same price point, we were at 12 cents. And now we're at 7 cents. All right. And it's amazing, guys. Today I looked at my Jasmy chart on my phone. I popped open my phone a couple times, and every time we were right at 7.37 cents. And I was just saying to myself, damn, if I would have just waited. But I didn't. And that's, that's when you, for me, I just calculated that it wasn't worth that extra penny in case we do pop. And we are getting very close to popping soon, guys. The other one is Shiba. Shiba is slight bullish divergence, but still you can see it here. Start over here, kind of the same time frame. And if we start here with our trend line, this is bearish. But the RSI is indicating bullish. Though slight, it's less of a bullish divergence than you see even on Bitcoin, to be honest. But there still is bullish divergence there. All right, so that's all I wanted to cover for this week. I'm going to catch up with you next week on Monday. Hope you guys find this useful. And I and my Substack subscribers know I'm all in at this point. I will gut it out if we drop one more time for one final shakeout. I'll just hold. Um, but I think the time is coming very near, possibly this weekend, where we have a big pump. So get ready for that, guys. All right. Good luck to y'all, and we will talk to you next week.